Good morning or good evening, wherever you guys are at listening at this time. This is LL3, which is actually Loki Lucky Third's second podcast. And I'm glad to be here, and hopefully you'll be enjoying this little half-hour segment at the most. And today I'll be discussing about the Florida cop who protested in the Obamacare mask won't be charged. It just happened around November 22nd and so forth in Plantation, Florida. And it was a big uproar because he got harassed, he got cited, and they're thinking about taking him to court. But what I just got a few hours ago from the gentleman himself, he's in the clear, he's in the Sun Sentinel. So I'm going to read the article, and I'll just give you my intake. This is from the sunsentinel.com. Cop who protested in Obamacare in mask won't face charges. This was written by Lisa J. Paraish, and it was completed around 5:21 p.m. December 12th. Prosecutors will not pursue charges against a North Miami Beach police officer who was arrested after he refused to remove a mask while he was standing on a sidewalk in a one-man protest, according to records released Thursday. Erickson Harrell, 39, wearing a black cape and a Guy Fawkes mask, seen in the movie V for Vendetta, and holding a flagpole with an inverted U.S. flag while protesting Obamacare, while standing along South University Drive in Plantation on November 22nd. Officers asked him repeatedly to remove his mask and produce some form of identification. Harrell refused. He said, I'm a cop. I'm a cop, after officers found his gun. He was charged with obstruction of traffic and with wearing a hood or mask on a street, allegedly violating a 1951 Florida law that defense attorney said it was created to combat the Ku Klux Klan. It's interesting about that. If I'm correct, it was Florida statute. One moment. Got my little phone here. I'll finish this paragraph here. The police officers at the scene said Harrell wasn't in the road or blocking traffic, according to a memo written Tuesday by prosecutor Sarah Nell Murphy. And what was really funny about that, the whole Ku Klux Klan mask, is that it was really vague. That's why it was considered unconstitutional. But I'm gonna do my little memo check here. I have it on my phone. And bear with me. I'm just shooting the breeze here. No. I'll just proceed for the time being. Murphy wrote she could not in good faith charge Harrell. In addition, that any mask law was vague, ambiguous, and overboard, and Harrell would argue a constitutional rights violation. She wrote. Murphy wrote that she researched if there were, quote, more appropriate charges, unquote, that could be filed, quote, based on his conduct, unquote. She considered a trespass charge, but he was in public forum and had a lawful right to be there, and protesting in a non-threatening manner. She also considered the charge of resisting an officer because Harrell wasn't complying with officer's request. Expect he is not legally required to disclose his identity during this encounter. Harrell, who could not be reached for comment Thursday, is on leave with his agency pending their own internal investigation. Howard Finkelstein, Broward's public defender, who was not involved in the case, applauded the decision by the state attorney's office. He made the statement, "It was the right thing to do," he said Thursday. Quote, "Free speech must not be chilled because either the message or manner of delivery makes us uncomfortable. That is the point. That is what spurred change, and is exactly what the First Amendment was designed to allow. If you ever meet this man, Howard Finkelstein, all I have to say, he's the real deal, and he has my homage on what he believes in. I've seen him speak at a Broward Libertarian Party function. And I gotta say, just hear what he has to say, and you'll be surprised. And by the way, he's a registered Democrat too. However, he stands for what's right, and I respect him for it dearly. And what's funny about that whole law with the Ku Klux Klan, it's really funny because if I'm correct, it's the statue. If I'm correct, that's some statute. I think it's 784. The statute 788. But give me a moment here and try to get this going. Here we go. Where are you? Oh yes, I know I had it somewhere. Come on, memo. Come on, memo. Where are you? Oh, there, right there. Yeah, it's Florida Statute 876-112. You know what? Let's do a little research on it. Then we can just do a little research on it. Forgive me, I'm just winging this. And see what we got. Yeah. 876-112. Oh, 876, Section 12. It's interesting. It's under crimes, and it was really funny. It's Title 46 to be exact. Yeah, 46 crimes. Chapter 876, Criminal Anarchy, Treason, and Other Crimes Against Public Disorder. Section 12, wearing mask, hood, or other device on public way. And this is what it has to say about the statute. No person or persons over years of age 16 shall, while wearing any mask, hood, or device whereby any portion of the face is so hidden, concealed, or as covered as to conceal the identity of the wearer, enter upon, or be, or appear upon any lane, walk, alley, street, road, highway, or other public way in this state. What the hell? That's so vague. Wow. Well, to be honest, in all integrity, right there, my friends, it violates Amendment 1 and 9 of our U.S. Constitution, freedom of speech, right to peacefully assemble, and Amendment 9, the Enumerations Amendment, natural law to be exact. However, we can even examine our Florida Constitution, the Florida Constitution that is, and I got it all here on paper. And what's really hilarious about it because these guys don't really have a clue. Well, the fact is this: Article 1, Declaration of Rights. Let's start off with Section 1, Political Power. The political power is inherited in the people. The enunciation herein of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or impair others retained by the people. Okay, that makes sense. And here's Section 2, Basic Rights, and it reads, all persons, female and male alike, are equal before the law and have inalienable rights, among which are the right to enjoy and defend life and liberty, to pursue happiness, to be rewarded for industry, and to acquire, possess, and protect property, except that the ownership, inheritance, disposition, and possession of real property by aliens ineligible for citizenship may be regulated or prohibited by law. No person shall be deprived of any right because of race, religion, national origin, or physical disability. So you could say, overall, basic rights are your natural born rights, and they cannot abridge from them. That's what's really hilarious about it. Okay, we'll just hit number 4 of the same section. Yeah, here it is, which is entitled Freedom of Speech and Press. Every person may speak and write, publish sentiments on all subjects, shall be responsible for the abuse of that right. No law shall be passed to restrain or abridge the liberty of speech or of the press. In all criminal prosecutions and civil actions for defamation of the truth may be given in evidence. If the matter charged as defamatory is true and was published with good motive, the person shall be acquitted or exonerated. Well, he didn't make any slanderous remarks, right? Correct. And we hit finally section 5, right to assemble. The people shall have the right peaceably to assemble, to instruct their representatives, and to petition for redress of grievances. Hey, that sounds like equivalent to what? Our First Amendment U.S. Constitution. And you know what? Even though he was a cop, we try to keep silence, and we can look at section 9. Due process. No person shall be deprived of any of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, or be twice put in jeopardy for the same offense, or be compelled in any criminal matter to be witnessed against oneself. Well, that's how you gotta look at that, my friends. It's very, very interesting because it's really good about knowing these rights, and what happened was the officers in plantation try to say who's the boss in that community. Well, the truth of the matter is, writing a citation, they try to accomplish something, and as far as I'm concerned, they just categorize themselves as deputies of Nottingham. And you know what? They lost, and there's what I have to say about that. That's right, because they were very juvenile based on their practice that particular day. And, just very intriguing here because, we all just look at these little comments. Read the comments here. This is pretty funny. Here. You read the discussions here. They'll do a little, come on, where are ya? Come on, give me a little love.